Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Okay, when I was a child, I remember flipping through books, searching for someone who looked like me. But most times, I found fairy tales from distant lands. Beautiful, yes, they are fairy tales, but far from home. It took me years to realize that our heroes lived right here among us. Their stories were in the air, in our homes, in the marketplaces, in the sacrifices we made, and the legacies they left behind. They just hadn't been written until now. Distinguished guests, their parents, teachers, students, all protocol duly observed. Good morning once again. A káàbọ̀, you are warmly welcome. Today I stand before you with a heart full of gratitude and joy. Hope as we launch the Role Model Series for African Children, Volume 1, authored by the amazing, I had to stretch that amazing, Edem Osai Dorothy. Please, can you clap for her? And published proudly by us at Purple Bloom Publishers here in Ibadan. Thank you once again. This is not just a book launch, it is a celebration of our heritage, a reclaiming of narrative, a planting of powerful seeds in the minds of our children. Because, as the African proverb says, until the lion learns to write, every story will glorify the hunter. You can think about that. And now, our lion is writing. We are writing. This series brings to life the journey of 5 outstanding Nigerians, men and women whose name carry weight across the globe, but whose stories remain rooted in African soil. Let me take a moment to honor the 5 shining stars featured in this first volume. Number 1, Wole the Lion Heart. This is the story of Wole Soyinka, Professor Wole Soyinka, a literary icon and courageous voice who reminds us that words are weapons and peace is worth fighting for. Number 2, Adebayo, the Guru. The story of Adebayo Ogunlesi, the master of global finance, whose brilliance made him a force in international business. Number 3, Ngozi, the patriot. Honoring Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, the first African and the first woman to lead the World Trade Organization, proved that integrity and intelligence can walk tall on the world stage. Thank you. Number 4, Bolanle Awe, Bolanle the pioneer. Celebrating Professor Bolanle Awe, a trailblazer for women in academia, and a fierce, please clap again. Thank you. A fierce protector of African women's history. Now, number 5. Are you excited to hear about number 5? Yes, number 5 is Kanu the Great, Kanu Nwankwo. The inspiring journey of Kanu Nwankwo, whose story reminds us that true greatness is not just in goals scored, but lives touched. Now let me take a break a bit. This morning, my son came to my room and saw Kanu Nwankwo's book on my bed. And he said, "Oh, this is so beautiful. Is this not the footballer? My son is 9 years old." And I said, "Yes." So he said, "Mommy, can I have this forever?" I said, "Your mommy is the publisher. You have it forever." So he took it. While we were on our way, he was reading it. And he said, "Whoa, Mommy, is Kanu greater than Osimhen?" In my mind, I was like, "Of course." Then he said, "Is Kanu greater than Ronaldo?" Kids. Then I said, "Of course." And another one, he said, "Oh, Mom, so Kanu won the World Cup." I said, then I kept quiet. I looked at my husband, and my husband said, "Yes, of course. Do you think our Kanu is small?" Okay, so in that moment, I thought to myself, this is exactly why this book was written. Its purpose is already being fulfilled. These books are going to touch lives and inspire a new generation. Thank you. These stories matter. They matter because they give our children mirrors, not just windows. They matter because they help our children say, "Yes, I can." Yoruba people say, "Ìrírí là ń kọ́ ọmọ, a kì í kọ́ ọmọ ní owó." It is experience and wisdom that raise a child, not just money. And so we give our children these books as a form of ìrírí, life lessons wrapped in stories, examples they can touch, understand, and aspire to become. As we began this journey a few months ago with Edem Dorothy Osai, it is to document our stories for young and old before they are forgotten, and to shape the minds of our young before the world will shape them for us. As another African proverb says, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. This moment is a proof that collaboration works. I want to express a deep appreciation to Edem Dorothy Osai, who poured not just research, but art into every word. To the entire Purple Bloom team, you are the engine behind this movement. To the families who believe in African stories, thank you. To the children in the room, we are counting on you. And I am so excited again. We started Purple Bloom in 2021, and we've published 95 books so far. And this book, the 5 books, make this 100 books we've published. You know, the Bible says, count your blessings and name them one by one. I have been so busy throughout the week for the past 1 month, going back and forth, making sure that we have a good production. And yesterday, I looked at my record and I said, wow, this 5 made it just a perfect round figure, 100. Thank you so much, Edem. Now, to the elders, let's not forget, this is our moment to shape identity and to light a path. Once again, I welcome you all warmly to this celebration. Today we plant stories. Tomorrow our children will bloom. Ẹ ṣeun púpọ̀. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Please don't stop clapping. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, I would like to bring to the high table the chairman of the occasion, please. Professor Ebokare, please. Can we appreciate him as he goes to the high table?
I'm the best my generation ever.
Also, I would like to bring to the high table Mr. Bolaji Oladipo. He's the book reviewer for today.
I never miss. I've been smashing, I've been cleaning everything. From Ikeja to Oju Eletabi, to the many places that I've never been.
And also to the high table, and also to recognize her presence, Mrs. Bangboshe of the Educational Advancement Center, a renowned educator. Please, let's appreciate her, please. All right, so at this time, I would like to hear a few words from the chairman. So let's appreciate him as he comes forward.
Thank you very much. I just wanted to enjoy today. And because I've watched Eden Osai for many years as a young lady with a dream, which I thought at some point I was saying to myself, how long is she going to last? Because, you know, the obstacles in the nation, in terms of ideas and visions, can put you down. So what we are seeing today basically is the product of tenacity. When a vision is strong enough, it overcomes all obstacles. So young people, I want you to remember this expression that when a vision is strong enough, there is no obstacle that can limit it. And this is the evidence. Sometimes when I see her, I envy her because I wish I were younger. I tell myself, this generation has a lot of promise. But how do we catalyze this promise? How do we ensure that they move on with the ideas that God has given to them, with their global orientation, with their competitive spirit, and with all the good things that they want to achieve in life? And so what we are seeing today, happening today, is one way in which we can inspire our children, our young people, to dream again. You see, the future of a nation depends on the kinds of people they make into heroes. You know, in those days, if you look at Yoruba land, Shango was a hero. And then, of course, you had Ogun, who was also a hero. These were brute and very combative individuals. In the laws of the land today, these people will be in jail. I'm sorry if I'm offending Yoruba sensibilities. So for every generation, we need to look for the kinds of character traits, the kinds of qualities of humanity, the excellent spirit that we want to project in order for that generation to take its place in the world scheme. So what we are seeing today basically is that Edem is trying to carve out for us, for the young people, to inspire them by projecting the right kinds of human beings with the excellent spirit and with the right kinds of views on how we relate with the world. You know, if you look at the television, you know, we have very many so-called heroes and sheroes. I'm sorry, let me use that word, sheroes. Because when we say heroes, you may think that only men can be heroes. No, women also can be heroes. And so, heroes and sheroes. All right? So, when you look at your television, you see individuals who are supposed, nitwits, actually, nitwits. That's one word. You should go and check your dictionary. People actually who should not even be regarded at all, projected. Some of them have very big names. They give themselves what people would call guy names. You know, I don't want to mention any so that I don't get into trouble. They call themselves by some fantastic names. But these are wicked human beings, wicked men and women who the society has projected as heroes because of the want of the right kinds of individuals who we will present to our young people as the right kinds of quality that they should aspire to. So the selection, not everybody who is qualified in Nigeria can get into this volume. But there has a careful selection of 5 individuals who have something to offer in various areas of life, men and women who have accomplished, who our young people should look out to try to belong and to emulate. So ladies and gentlemen, I think I am lifted up today, and with the kinds of people who have come to grace this occasion, Professor Bamiro is here, who is a former VC of University of Ibadan, who has left a lot of indelible mark in the sands of time. Mrs. Bangboshe is also here, whose husband and herself have been, the story of education in Nigeria, in the Southwest, in Africa, cannot be told without EAC. And then, of course, I want to also recognize the woman behind the inspiration, the one who has stood with Edem. I'm talking about Dr. You are looking at me as if you don't know you are the one I'm talking about. Dr. Louisa Anda. We have to be proud of today, because I'm proud of Edem. Now, for the young people who are here, there is no story that is worth telling without a challenge. Nobody will read a story that has no problems. If I come, I said I was born, everything went well, I succeeded and I died, my story will be finished in 1 page. So it's these challenges in life that give the inspiration, how we overcome them, and what we do to give and contribute to the legacies of our time that makes a difference. The final thing I want to say is that please don't follow the mainstream. I know that people say, I'm looking to make money, I want to do this. But what I have found out, which is what I tell my students, if you stay long enough with a noble idea, if you are honest and sincere in the pursuit of your goals, I can tell you that the top is your destination. There is no hold up in the sky. The only place where there is hold up is on the ground. So when you excel, there is enough room for you in the sky. So I'm hoping that you will go and read this. Now, reading is very critical, so don't take the book and go and keep it. Let me give you one small story about how I failed. I used to fail essay writing in schools because I hadn't enough stories to tell. You know, as a village man in those days, we will be told to tell a story of how you spent your vacation in Lagos or in London with your uncle. I would just look at this and say, which Lagos, which London? I didn't know that I was supposed to tell a holy lie. And even if I knew that I was supposed to tell that holy lie, I didn't even have enough experience to be able to put something together. But when I discovered that I was not supposed to tell my real experience, but to imagine an experience, and I decided to start reading books. And for my school cert, because I read Mind Boy, Peter Abraham, we were given an essay that we should end the essay, suddenly I woke up. That was supposed to be essay, school cert essay. So I told the story of Peter Abraham's, a particular character in Peter Abraham. I personalized it, and I said at the end, suddenly I woke up. And that was how I got. So it's important to read. That is, Professor Bamiro and I were just talking just now, that the thing that makes us happy, that inspires us, that keeps us alive, is the fact that we still read, we write, we find joy in the ideas that we put out there. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, there is nothing as nice, as happy, as enjoyable, nothing as sustainable as the book. So keep reading, keep succeeding, and become the heroes of tomorrow that some of you will also write about. God bless you all.
I don't wanna give baby anything that you
you very much, sir. All right, so while the publisher was speaking earlier, some special guests walked in, so I'm just going to recognize them very quickly. I would like to recognize the presence of Professor and Mrs. Ewete. Are you here? Please. Thank you. Thank you very much for coming. Also, Mrs. Dukbel Leramo, a retired broadcaster. She's here as well. Thank you for coming. And also Jumoke Adejobi, PRO, Lead City University. Are you here? Thank you for coming. Now, at this point, we're supposed to have a keynote address by Dr. Toby Moody, but he sends his apologies. His flight was canceled last night and was rescheduled to this morning, but it's going to be very difficult to make, this event today. So instead, we're going to be watching a documentary, which is also a keynote address by Professor Ni Oshundari. So please enjoy it.
Bambi, Bambi, my dear, my dear, my dear, my dear, I want you here. Don't get too near, for there's lions beware. Oh, Bambi, I won't lie. If I weren't in this spider web of mine, if grandfather never had 7 wives, then darling, you would be love of my life. Oh, baby, it's my design to run the jungle. I must be a lion or be a cheetah, but neither is fine. Don't wanna hurt my dear love of my life. Bambi, Bambi, ah, Bambi, my dear, my dear, my dear, ah, Bambi, my dear, I want you here. No, 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 no. Don't come near me. Don't come near me. Don't come near me. Oh. No, no. I thought of leaving. I want a kid. I want the world. I want the all. I want to live. She got a grievance. She want the kid. She want the kid. She want the car. She want the crib. I gotta admit it might be about that. But my moods need to be about that. Body pulling me to feel yo. Try to leave, but I still don't go. Even if I wanted to, I come back around. Even if I wanted to, I come back and we just go around, babe. Bang, bang, boomerang. Do you love or hate me now, babe? Bang, bang, boomerang. I can't believe it all began with the joke and champagne. I really never cared about it. If you planting, I'm planting. Oh, you got me feeling like boomerang. Boomerang, boomerang, man. Oh, you got me feeling like boomerang. Boomerang, 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 man. I got no need to pretend I know. I got no need to pretend I got no need to pretend I know. She want to kiss, she want to call, she want to girl. I might admit it might be about that, but my moves need to be about that. Body pulling me to view, yo, yo. Try to leave, but I still don't go. Even if I wanted to, I come back on. Even if I wanted to, I come back and we just go around, babe. Bang, bang, boomerang. Do you love or hate me now, babe? Bang, bang, boomerang. I can't believe it all began with the joke and champagne. I really never cared about it. If you planting, I'm planting. Oh, you got me feeling like boomerang. Boomerang, boomerang, man. Got me feeling like boomerang. Boomerang, 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 man. Looking out and I wonder about the things I do. Looking out and I wonder about the things I do. I'm taking my secret. I got to.
Apologies. Can you just give us a few minutes? Let's just sort out the audio issue that we have. Thank you very much. All right, so while we wait, I'm just going to go around and ask these young people who their role models are. Okay, so I'm going to start with you. Who is your role model?
My mom,
Your mom. Why is your mom your role model?
because she's someone I would like to become. Yeah, she's always caring, loving, and a very promising mother.
All right, let's appreciate her mom. Okay. Who is your role model?
My dad, sir.
What?
My dad.
Your dad. Why is your dad your role model?
Because he's such a wonderful father. Yes, sir. And I'll aspire to be just like him, sir.
All right, let's appreciate him and his dad. Who is your own role model? Don't look back. Look at me. Who is your role model?
My mom.
Your mom. Why?
Because of I love my mom and she's my hero.
Why?
My mom is caring and loving mother.
All right, let's appreciate her as well. Okay. Who is your role model?
Bill Gates,
Bill Gates. Why?
because I dream to be an engineer just like him.
You what?
I dream of being an engineer.
You dream of being an engineer just like him.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, clap for him. All right, I'm going to that other side. Maybe one per table. Okay. Who is your role model?
My dad. Yes, because he struggled for us to be a better person in life. Though he don't have much, but he always tries. He's trying.
All right, let's appreciate her dad. Fantastic. All right, who is your role model?
My mom.
Because anything I do, she's always with me and she's always advising me to go with it, even though she does not go to school. She did not complete her school, so she always wants us to finish school.
All right, let's appreciate her mom. Who is your role model?
My role model
A book in the hand
Dr.
of
Benjamin Carson. Dr. Benjamin Carson.
Dr. Benjamin Carson. Why?
Because I want to invest in that kind of profession, surgeon.
Okay, a round of applause for him. And finally, who is your role model?
Oriyomi Amzat.
Oriyomi Amzat. Why?
Because I love his passion for mankind.
You love his passion for?
Mankind.
All right, let's appreciate her as well. Put your hands together for yourselves, all of you. All right, I believe that our video is ready, so please enjoy it.
To put a book in the hand of every child. To put a book in the hand of every child. What better way to begin this brief address than to ask Edem Osai's, Mayen's founder herself, to take us by the hand and lead us through the dream that mothered the actualization of today's event and its predecessors since the birthing of this tremendously valuable initiative some 14 years ago. Here, in her own words, it's a brief history of how the Mayen dream was born and how her call to action was prompted by an irresistible resolve. I was troubled by the alarming number of children hawking goods on the streets of Ibadan during school hours. I believed that mobile libraries and small physical libraries in under-resourced neighborhoods would be an effective way to provide reading support and literacy resources to poorer and marginalized children who were out of normal school settings. I thought, if I can just put a book on the tray, it could change the child's life. Without any doubt, Edem was not the only one that saw these juvenile hawkers. They were all over Nigerian streets. Those who hawk for their petty trader parents and guardians, child laborers who flood roadsides in search of jobs, any kind of jobs, from the riskiest to the flagrantly illegal. Rag-wrapped, lice-covered youngsters schooled in the art of pestering and pickpocketing. The long lines of sanctified beggars with custom-made bowls in their hands, blackmailing passers-by with the name of their merciful God, who only opens heaven's door in those who open their wallets for the faithful beggar. Not far from here, demanding metaphors and clerics, waiting for the daily takings of this last category of juvenile menace. I too have a story not too different from Edem's own, as told by her in the quote above. Sometime in November last year, was 2024, I was at the famous Oje market in Ibadan, to savor the typical market atmosphere in this seemingly amazing world of buying and selling. I ended up at my usual planting depot, where my real business was usually accompanied by humorous repartee and how is the family pleasantries. I discovered to my chagrin that the storekeeper "Where is mommy?" I asked almost instinctively. She's away today and tomorrow, and she has asked us to open the shop. My eyes made a quick dash to my wristwatch. It was 11 o'clock in the morning. "But, Pam, you should be in school at this time of day," I said in a tone sobered by torturous bother and anguished complaint. The two children answered with helpless silence. As I selected my bunch of 6 plantains, I noticed a bout of shifting and shuffling around me. To my left were 2 boys and 1 girl. To my right, a boy and a girl, all equipped with baskets, metal trays, and plastic buckets, each struggling to be the lucky porter of my bunch of 6 plantains. Again, all the 5 were aged between 8 and 10. Again, I asked, "Why are you here at this time? Why are you not in school?" One of them said he had not had a good meal in 2 days because he had nothing to eat. 2 said their parents couldn't afford the school levy. 1 said his uniform was old and torn. The last one just looked away in sober silence. My painful memory has not ended. In the past 3 years, I have noticed a phenomenal rise in the number of juvenile apprentices who accompany the artisans and blue-collar workers that come to work on my house and other houses in our neighborhood in Ibadan. Late last year, the plumber came with 4, the aluminum worker with 3, the bricklayer with 3, the electrical generator repairer with 2. These were workers who used to find it difficult to recruit apprentices and assistants some 10 years ago. Without a doubt, the remarkable rise in apprentice population is a symptom of the decline of the affordability rate of higher education among a significant sector of the Nigerian population, as well as a disenchantment with its prestige, purpose, and indispensability. When I asked one of the new apprentices why he dropped out of high school, he told me he did so at the behest of his father, who had observed that in today's Nigeria, Isheowo, that is technical artisanal work, is far better than Isheiwe, book work. The boy then repeated to me the question his father asked him in words to this effect. What is the purpose of higher education, which leaves you jobless after so many years of read, bags of money? How is the family school pleasantries? This discovered to my chagrin, he said further, there are 3 unemployed graduates, 2 from the university, 1 from the polytechnic. Many of the street hawkers and juvenile loafers in today's Nigeria are trickle-down victims of the socioeconomic anomalies so clearly revealed above in the dire situations of the child porters and juvenile apprentices. In a country where people would rather kawo, that is count money, than kawe, count or read book, a Philistine paradise that prides the opulent politician over the honest professor, the young population is not likely to aspire to the life of the book and its infinite wisdom. And yet, as I've always thought, the young fervently believe, if you want to know the future of a country, go straight in. And yet, classrooms, as I've always laboratories and fervently believe, listen to the song to know the future. Listen to the songs a country. The children go straight sing in to its classrooms, who their hero is, and libraries. Ask. Listen to the song of education. Listen to the songs after reading the children love to sing. Do you have the urge to write your who their hero is? Ask. My principal what is the real meaning of education in our secondary after reading a new book? How many new books have the urge to write your own last month? Ask. My principal used, in essence, to do a sum of the questions secondary days. How many new books asking did you read and asking us to ask? Directly this, or in essence, indirectly, a sum of the questions my has been asking person and building, asking us building, to ask nation building, directly or indirectly within the past 14 on years. The present and its eye. My has been in a country building, with a bloated, corrupt building, government, nation building, and little governance, with rulers who on the present and its eye in loud the future. And clear terms. In a country with Nigeria a bloated, corrupt government of the countries with the largest number of out with of rulers children who played in the world, when told the intervention of individual initiatives such as Mayen assumes a laudable significance. Adam Osai was troubled by the alarming number of children hawking goods on the streets. Those are her words. But she didn't stop at that. She progressed from alarm to dream. Again, I quote her. I thought, if I can just put a book on the tray, it could change the child's life. End of quote. With its book drives and mobile libraries, Mayen has been changing lives and making literacy a vital and indispensable achievement. Let the world rise to her aid as she strives to put the book in the hand of every child. Thank you.
All right, that was Professor Ni Oshundari, and he's a renowned Nigerian poet and distinguished writer who sent in this message from New Orleans in the United States of America. So let's appreciate him one more time. As I explained earlier, the keynote speaker had his flight canceled at the last minute, so he could not be here with us this morning. But to demonstrate how much his heart lies, with us with this event today, his parents are here to show solidarity with this program. So let's celebrate Professor and Professor Mrs. Moody. Are they here? Let's appreciate them. Thank you very much. We're going to show another video shortly. But before then, I have a few questions I want to ask the children at the back. So I'm coming again. So, my question now is, mention the qualities of a good role model. I'm going to give you 10 seconds to think about it. Mention the qualities of a good role model. Okay, I'm going to start from this side. Are you ready? Okay, so just give me one quality that you think a good role model should have.
To be hardworking.
Hardworking, very good. Please, as they are mentioning, just clap for them.
A role model must be patriotic and loyal.
Patriotic and loyal.
He or she must be reliable and punctual.
Reliable, okay. Please appreciate them.
My name is Aisha.
Grateful. Grateful.
Dutiful, okay. Next, what is a quality of a good role model?
She must be trustworthy.
Trustworthiness, okay.
Honesty and intelligence.
Honesty and intelligence, very good.
Their honesty. Their honesty. They have good. They have what people can look and think they are a good role model. They have good value.
Good value, okay.
Truthful. They must be truthful. They must be honest.
Somebody has said that already.
Truthful.
Truthful, okay. They must be truthful. How about you?
They are hardworking and excellent in his or herself.
They are hardworking and they must be excellent, yeah? Okay. How about you?
A good role model should have this, should persevere in his or her work, like never give up.
Very good. A good model, a good role model must persevere and never give up.
Discipline.
Discipline, I like that.
Honesty.
Someone has said that.
They must be hardworking.
Someone has said that.
Okay. They must have positive impact in the society.
Very good. They must have a positive impact in the society.
Transparency.
Transparency. Okay?
Faithfulness.
Faithfulness. Okay?
Lay good examples. Lay good examples.
And they must lay good examples. Please, can you put your hands together for all of them? Okay, we still have a few more here. Can you give me one?
It depends on the person that's looking up to the role model. Something like person must be honest, integrity, just different things. Depends on the person that's looking up. That's it.
Okay.
The person must be a person of integrity.
A person of integrity. Very good. I'm going to pick two more people. How about you?
They must be hardworking and they must lay good impact in the society.
Okay. And finally,
Courtesy.
courtesy. All right, can we appreciate all of them? Well done. All right, so we're supposed to see or listen to a brief goodwill message. Is it ready? Okay, so it's a brief goodwill message from the Public Affairs Officer of the United States Embassy in Nigeria, Miss Julie McKay.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. My name is Julie McKay, and I am the Public Affairs Officer at the U.S. Consulate General in Lagos. It is a real honor to speak to you all today. Let me start by acknowledging Edem Osai, alumna of the U.S. Government Exchange Program, the Mandela Washington Fellowship, and founder of the Mentoring Assistance for Youths and Entrepreneurs Initiative, a leading nonprofit that promotes literacy and expands access to quality education. Thank you, Edem, for your exceptional commitment to making a positive difference in the lives of children. Today, Edem is launching the first book in a series titled The Role Model Series for African Children, which aims to inspire and empower children in Nigeria and beyond to strive for excellence and become change makers in their communities. I know from experience how powerful a single book can be. Books can play a huge role in shaping young minds, nurturing imagination, and passing on values that build safer, stronger, and more prosperous societies. Before I became a U.S. diplomat, I was a teacher, teaching English as a foreign language in Central Asia as a Peace Corps volunteer. Before that, I was a public high school teacher in South Carolina, in the United States. Throughout my time as a teacher, I saw the power books play in igniting young people's passion for learning and exploration. This is why Edem's new book is a powerful tool for inspiration, providing positive examples of character, courage, and problem-solving skills. This series brings to life the stories of Nigerian role models like Professor Wale Soyinka, Africa's first Nobel laureate in literature, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, Director General of the World Trade Organization, Kanu Nwankwo, one of Africa's most decorated footballers, Professor Good morning, everyone. My name is Julie McKay, and I am the Public Affairs Officer at the Ogunlesi, founding partner and chairman of the New York-based private equity firm Global Infrastructure Partners, and connects young readers with real-life heroes whose paths were shaped series by courage, for African children, and excellence, which aims to inspire and empower children in Nigeria and beyond to strive for resilience, a strong sense of purpose that can ignite a lifelong love of learning, and perhaps most importantly, a desire in young people to leave the world a better place than they found it. At the U.S. mission in Nigeria, one of the ways we support education is through our network of 28 tech-enabled American spaces located in 24 cities across Nigeria. Each American space, including our vibrant American Corner in Ibadan, located at 52 Magazine Road, Jericho, serves as a hub of learning and opportunity. Our American spaces provide young people with access to a wide range of free resources, including basic computer literacy training, high-speed internet, professional development programs, and guidance on studying in the United States. I invite you all to visit the American Corner Ibadan to explore all of the valuable opportunities they provide free of charge. The U.S. mission also offers a variety of exchange opportunities for high school students, including the Pan-African Youth Leadership Program and Tech Girls. To learn more about these programs, please follow us across our social media platforms at US in Nigeria, USIN Nigeria. I would like to extend my heartfelt congratulations to Edem on this remarkable achievement. Thank you for your tireless efforts championing literacy and mentoring the next generation of change makers across Nigeria. I am confident that your latest book, as well as today's library and digital hub opening, will leave a lasting impression on young readers and contribute to their ongoing growth and development. I wish you, Edem, and your team continued success in your future endeavors. Thank you, and congratulations.
Come on, let's put our hands together one more time. Today we are graced with the presence of several renowned educators in Ibadan. So let's recognize in our midst Miss Abby of the American Christian Academy. She here, let's appreciate her, please. Miss Shola Oni of Play Paradise. Are you here? Let's appreciate her. Also, Helen Chatburn Ojehamon of the Ibadan International School. Let's appreciate her as well. Also, we have a mentor of the author and a pioneer civil society leader in Oyo State and Nigeria, Chief Mrs. Grace Oluwatoye. Let's appreciate her. Thank you very much. So it's time to review this wonderful book. And as I mentioned earlier, we have an ace veteran broadcaster in our midst who is going to be reviewing the book. Please, let's welcome Mr. Bolaji Oladipo.
Good morning, everyone. Today, I want to start this way because what we're doing today is something that is so dear to my heart. Edem Dorothy Osai is our own. And I say this with all sincerity because she's been with us since she was in primary school. I used to work for the Nigerian television, and we had programs that chronicled the lives of achievers, and we used that to educate young people. And we had a lot of young people at that time whom we brought to the station to actually represent, their mates. And then, of course, look at these characters that we're trying to bring into the light. Dorothy Osai was one of the prominent, children that we brought at that time. And they say the apple does not fall far from the tree. Her mom was a prolific producer of children's programs. And so she had what I would call this natural thing for children that even, at a point in time, she had a very, fatal incident that we all, feared was going to take her out. But God is so wonderful because she loved children. She had issues with her back and was hospitalized and was home for months. But we were praying for her. And glory to God, she came back to work, hale and hearty, and continued to tutor young people across, Nigeria with ideas that are so profound. I'm not talking about them yet. I'm talking about her mom. She was so good that even some of us that she brought under arms in those days still remember what she did for us. So we've known Edem forever. From primary school to Queen's College rather, in Lagos, and then she came back to Ife, and then it's the same idea. She loves people and wants to help people. And so when that shifted to the children, I know she's found her what do they call it now? She has found her place. Because when she came up with mine, I said, oh my God. She came up with an idea that would seem, as if you can just do it, but nobody is doing it. And she came up and did something very wonderful because our mom went to live in an area that was that had backward children, and she brought them up, to speed, taking books from her mom's library to start with, and then getting help from here and there. And today, mine is, a global organization, because I do know that people from across the world are interested in what mine is doing. And that is one of the reasons that we're here today, because mine has metamorphosed into something bigger. Edem Dorothy Osai is therefore somebody that the young ones should form some kind of relationship with. You are here, make sure you get, a phone number or her internet address so you can relate with her. I call her, a 50-year-old, midget, in those days, because her wisdom is such that will astound anybody. She will talk to you and say, Uncle, I didn't know you are here. So what are we going to do today? And stuff like that. And when she says something, you better start thinking about it. She's seen something ahead. And so when it happens, you will just wonder, how did she know that this was going to happen? That's, the importance of living around information. She lived, with parents that had, feelings for people. Her dad, a renowned professor, and her mom, a wonderful broadcaster turned, university don, and everybody around her. So she does not have any excuse not to, be where she is today. So my song bursts this morning in the name of Coco, with Edem taking a regal step. Therefore, dare the hyena howl, let them howl. Let the watchdog thunder endlessly, because our own Edem Dorothy Osai is beating the drums of progress, the drums of creativity, the drums of development. I therefore ask you to join me now in saying thank you to Edem for being so creative. Now to the books that we have come to look at. It is actually not one book. We have 5 books in one. So we're going to, be very snappy about, how we're going to do this. I am going to, start from Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. That is Madam Minister. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala was born in the 50s, the early 50s, in Delta State. She was raised by her grandmom because her parents were academics and they were busy, running around the world trying to find, their feet in their chosen profession. Professor Okonjo was in economics, and her mom Professor Mrs. Okonjo was also in the social sciences, philosophy and sociology. And so they were all studying at the time for their doctorate degrees. Although at some point in time they had taught at the University of Ibadan. But, they had to improve, so they went overseas to do something about their doctoral programs. And at that time, Madam Minister was, the eldest daughter that they have. She was there, very, very hardworking, and always helping her grandmom to do the house chores. And because she realized that if she did not do well in her studies, the young ones that were put in her charge would not do well. So she did not have any option than to do well. So she did very well in her schoolwork and gave a very good account of herself in the homework that she had to do for her mom. Now, this story is such, so compelling that if I have to go, through the order in which it was presented by Dorothy Osai, we will not be able to touch the other stories today. So I would, skip to her high school days. She left primary school and moved to high school, and at the same time, she gave a very, very good account, of herself in her chosen school. And because she did so very well, because of the fact that she remembered the daughter, the daughter of whom she was at the time, and so she made very good grades. And so, to move on, she applied to very good schools around. The schools that were available on, her list, because her father was far away in foreign lands, were, of course, Oxford, Cambridge, Harvard, and all those, A-list schools. So, her father told her, if you made, it into Harvard or Oxford or whatever, I will be glad, but I will be so glad if you are able to make it, to Harvard. And so she went on to Harvard and, gave a very good account of herself again. She graduated, magna cum laude. And then instead of doing her, her graduate, studies in the same school, she moved down the same street because Massachusetts Institute of Technology is on the same street with Harvard in Boston. If you know that environment, you just go down the street, and on the right, you'll see MIT. So she went there. She didn't go there because the place was the place was a place that she just admired. It's because of the records of the people who had gone to MIT. MIT is, reputed to be a very, very productive institution in terms of technology, in terms of ideas, same as Harvard. And Harvard and MIT actually work together, on programs and, ideas and projects. So Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala went to MIT and graduated, cumulatively, after 5 years with a PhD. And from there, she became somebody that can beat her chest that she has, actually arrived on the scene, but she did not, go out from there, beating her chest that, okay, I have arrived. I have a Harvard degree, and of course, to add something to that, I have another sweetener from MIT. So she went to work. And one job to another, she ended up, in her current job at the WTO. But I must tell you that in between, she was brought back by President Obasanjo because of her exemplary performance in her workplaces, not because she had earned, a PhD from MIT and a degree from Harvard. No. She earned, a place for herself as an economist. And that is very important. Economists are the people who study how countries, economies, and stuff like that, behave. And they can predict when a country is going in the right and wrong direction. So, whether you are going right or wrong, economists will tell you, and just like you have them in Nigeria telling our governments whether they are doing okay or not doing okay. So this woman was actually, writing materials that interested Obasanjo, and so Obasanjo brought him to Nigeria as Minister of Finance. And when she had performed for about 1 or 2 years, and Obasanjo saw what she was doing, she actually, was promoted to being the minister in charge of the economy. It is not just Minister for Finance. It's because of her performance that she became the Minister of the Economy. And during that time, she made a lot of, giant, advances for Nigeria. For instance, Nigeria's debt was cancelled by the Paris Club and most of the other, lending houses. I'm talking about global lending houses from where Nigeria had borrowed money. So that is somebody adding very serious value to society. And this is a woman that is also, as she was, going through her own career, she was bringing people along. Other women and young people, for that matter, around Washington, D.C., when I was in the U.S., I met quite a number of people who had worked with Okonjo-Iweala, and they had positive things to say about her. And just like, we believe in the Humphrey program, one man can make a difference. And Okonjo-Iweala made a difference. And so I was not surprised that Dorothy Osai made her number one on the list of the people of our sheroes, if I may borrow the expression of, my teacher. And let me tell you one thing. I have somebody here who taught me, in my university days, Professor Bokari, and he always, says in those days that, have you ever seen any country develop without their own language? Show me one country that has, broken through without their own language. And the reason why I'm, saying that is Okonjo-Iweala recognized the fact that, well, she has made it, but coming home and adding value to what is happening at home is important. And so all the people that have used her, to leapfrog their careers will never forget that she is one person that who is of their own kind that they cannot forget. She has made them to believe in the fact that our own is our own. Our language is important, so as as much as our people are important. Bringing the two together, because Okonjo-Iweala is our own, in spite of the fact that she is at the WTO right now. She still comes around, and some of the times she chips in, words here and there to kind of tell the government whether they are doing well. I don't know whether she's still speaking to, the present day government, but, I know that, there was a time that I followed her, and I know that she was always talking to our government. So that's that. She is somebody who has a tenacity of purpose. She believed that she could, do it, and she did it for herself, then for her family, then for her nation, and then, for you and I that were sitting here, because today, if they mention the name of Okonjo-Iweala, they will say she is from Nigeria. Are you not proud of this hero? Can I see your hand up, if you really understand what she has done for our nation? Okonjo-Iweala is a friend of Nigeria. Do you believe that? Can you raise your hand if you do, if you believe that? Yes. Now, so she is the first person that Osai put in her book. And I think that she is recognizing the fact that this woman worked very hard as a young person. She helped her grandmother, and she moved on, from there to, become somebody who was a beacon of hope for her young ones. And those ones, actually believed that she was it. And so we thank God for the life of Okonjo-Iweala. Then we have another person on the list of our heroes, Oluwole Akinwande Soyinka. Do you know who is so called? Are you sure you know him? Young people, do you know him? Wole Soyinka received the Nobel Prize for Literature. And that was not the only honor. He had so many honors, but it did not start from the Nobel Prize. The story started when he was born in Ishara, and then eventually transported to Abeokuta. I'm sure some of you may have seen the book on Ishara, the years of childhood. But there were lots and lots of stories to tell about Akinwande Soyinka, because he believed in the written word, and he was an inquisitive child who asked his uncles and aunties and whatever where he grew up a lot of questions. And so at that time, they thought that Now, Akinwande Soyinka grew up with his father that everybody called S.A. His father was a very good, man, a teacher for that matter, and, a very sound disciplinarian. And the mom, she was a housewife and had, a mini store where she sold petty things around the time that Wale was growing up. Because the father was also a pastor, they lived in a parsonage, and Wale grew up in that milieu, singing in the choir on Sundays, and was a very inquisitive child and very well behaved. But he also had, beliefs in things happening around him. And his grandfather was what you will call an Onishegun. I don't want to say Babalawo, but his grandfather was an Onishegun who knew about leaves and herbs and stuff. And Wale saw all these things and was asking questions anytime he had access to his grandfather. And also, his mother, a very good storyteller, told them about things that happened in Yoruba land. The Oro, for instance, is one thing that interested Wale Soyinka. He asked his mother to continue with the story of Oro and some of these other, traditional people, traditional materials that were there when he was growing up. All these things were turning round and round in his mind, and as he grew up, yes, he was in school, and he even went to the school, by force, because he was supposed to start school at age 5 or 6, but he went to school at 3 years old. He went with the sister. Unknown to the sister, he was coming at a distance behind her. And when the sister was given a place in class, he showed up that he wanted a place too. And so the matter had to be taken to the headmaster that this young man at 3 years old is not ready for school. But the headmaster said, we shall do something about this. And so because the headmaster knows Soyinka's father, who also was a headmaster, they resolved it somehow. That was how he started school at age 3. And the story is what we have today. He moved from that school to another school, and that's what's the name of this school? The Abeokuta Grammar School. And because he won a place in the exam that was done to place people into Government College Ibadan, so he had to, relocate to Ibadan to continue his higher education. So he finished in Ibadan with a lot of awards and laurels and stuff, and went to Lagos to work with his uncle for about 1 or 2 years before he got admitted into UCI. Again, at UCI, something happened that he had to leave midway through his education at Ibadan. Then he gained a scholarship to Leeds. And today, the story is different. Because he was a precocious child, he had a lot of opportunities coming his way. And let me tell you, you do not, no matter how talented you are, if you don't read and you do not, put efforts into writing and doing, those stuff, you will just discover that your talent will go down the drain. And so I am advising, the young ones here to continue to work hard, read. When I was in school, I was lucky to have one man who is a brother to the famous Laolu Oguni. He was a senior brother. Akinlolu Oguni was our literary and debating, our literature teacher, and he adopted me into the literary and debating society very young. I was very little, but he liked me and gave me a lot of materials to read. When I graduated from his own library at that time, I went into the school library to read. But that is not why we're here. I'm just telling you why it is important for you to study. Because that man gave me the opportunity, I was able to move ahead in life. I ended up, working for television at an age, that if I tell most of you here, you will say, ah. What happened next to Soyinka was that at Leeds, he joined the theater. At that time, he was writing and he was acting, and at the same time, he was doing things on the side to sort him out. Because he was a brilliant, young person, he was restless and wanted to do a lot of things. Most of the plays that we have, like the Swamp Dwellers and some of these other, plays that were written, at that time. So Soyinka continued, and the story, blossomed when he came back to Nigeria. In 1970, was it 1973 now? Before 1973, he came, into the country and was not happy with the politics, of the place. He was politically, minded at that time. He wanted something straight for his fatherland, but the politicians were just not, doing the right thing. What happened with the election that made Soyinka go to the broadcast house to broadcast a different story was very interesting. An election was held, and Soyinka did not agree with, what was announced, because that was not the true result of the elections, and the people were not happy, but the government went on anyway. So Soyinka did what he had to do, and he was arrested, swiftly arrested, and kept, in jail. But the pressure from outside was much for the government. He had to be released, much later. Some 2 or 3 months later, he was freed. But that was not, what happened when the war broke out in Nigeria, and he was siding with Biafra, because he actually asked, the powerful people in Nigeria today to make sure that this does not happen. But he did. The war happened, and so people thought that he was siding with Biafra, but he was not. He did not side with Biafra. He was just saying that, this is what ought to be. But government arrested him at that time, and that's it. He was jailed. And that was where he wrote "The Man Died." He didn't write it, on good papers or whatever. He wrote them on sheets of toilet rolls and stuff, and made sure that they got out through, the prison, staff and stuff. And some of these, materials were put together, and that's what we have today as your book, "The Man Died." So Soyinka wrote so many other books. Some of them you've read, Lion and the Jewel, Trials of Brother Jero, You Must Set Forth at Dawn. one of his memoirs, Ibadan, the Penkelemes years. He wrote so many other books that you can't begin, to number here. So many other poems. He was not just a poet. He writes, prose, and he writes novels too. The Interpreters was one novel that you might, want to ask yourself to read. So, as I am, rounding off, I have to tell you one or two things about all the other people. The financial guru that Madam Publisher was talking about was Adebayo Ogunlesi, who was born in Shagamu. And Shagamu is in Ogun State. And so, this is another person that went to Harvard and did very well for himself. Worked on, Wall Street for about 23 years. And eventually, became one of the big boys on Wall Street. But when it was almost time for him to become the CEO of the company, one of the biggest, banks on Wall Street, he opted out to form GIP. And that was the company that started buying up, it was an investment organization. So they started buying up properties, projects, and what have you, all around the world. But the ones that you will be very familiar with is their interest in Gatwick Airport, which is very popular. How can one man buy up, a whole airport? It's like saying somebody comes in now and buys up Murtala Mohammed Airport, and his company is managing it. But they did. They bought up, Edinburgh Airport. They bought up, London, airport. They bought up so many other, properties, and invested in all these, areas, and they are doing well. But just at the point when you would think that the man is predictable, he is unpredictable. He, sold the company again, and chose to become a member of the board of a bigger company who are, still in investment all around the world. So we can go on and on. But we'll talk about, our own Bolanle Awe, the first female lecturer hired by the University of Ibadan. Professor Bamiro is here. She can fact-check me that's the first, professor of history in Ibadan, African history, for that matter. She is very prolific, and I recall that in the olden days, when I was very small, she was the only woman with Mrs. Folake Sholanke. Those were the two faces that came to join the intellectuals to talk on a program on NTA, at that time, Highlight. And, they were always pontificating, and I was wondering, who are these women? Who could, put out, whatever they wanted to do on the screen. They held their own amongst the men, and they were not, to be outdone by anybody. So when Dr. Omololu Olunloyo at that time would moderate, and so many others, would be there. God rest his soul. And the last but not the least is Kanu Nwankwo, our own Papilo, who dribbled his way into, how do I describe it now? He dribbled his way into millions, and he almost didn't make it. Because, he was halfway there, and then tragedy struck, the heart problem. He had a hole in the heart. So, a company, a team had paid for him. The team that he was playing for was Ajax. And Ajax, in Netherlands, had a lot, to do with him. They sold him, for an enormous price to a Spanish club. And at the end of the day, he had a hole in the heart when they were doing the medicals. And so he had to be benched. Until he did, all his surgery and whatever, he was, thought to be done. And eventually, Arsene Wenger found him and turned him into a superstar. And today, the story is different. It was Arsene Wenger that actually believed in turning that guy around. Nobody was interested in him anymore. And the guy knew he had managed people like that before, but because he was talented, he used him in a way that he felt would make Kanu Nwankwo realize his dream. And did he realize his dream? The story is there for you to read. So, I am asking you aunties and mommies and daddies here to buy as many copies as possible. The young ones will find it very captivating. Because when I saw this book, I didn't know it had so much in it. I read and read and read, and it was not finishing, but it was very full of, very vital information for people to know about these heroes. Professor Awe, Kanu Nwankwo, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, Wole Soyinka, and who is our fifth person now? And Ogunlesi, Adebayo Ogunlesi, forgive me, Adebayo Ogunlesi. They are all in the book. And so I am appealing to you to please buy one and take one for your, niece or cousin or whatever. Just make sure you buy more than one, because this is one material that will change the face of, reading for our children, because we've been reading materials, we're reading material about other people, but this is the time to read about our own people. Let us begin to read about our own people, and God will help you. A friend of mine, many years ago, did something that was wonderful. And she told me, very frankly, she was a very, very studious person, an egghead, if you like me to, call her that. She told me that her dad wanted her to, study medicine. And she studied and excelled in medicine. And in fact, she became a consultant when she changed her mind. That she wanted all, to be a painter, an artist. And that's what she is today. I was shocked when I saw one of her works. I had to, send message that, look, I saw your work in a university, that's Rutgers University in New Jersey. She's here, and her work is traveling around the world. So whatever you believe in, please go ahead. If you believe in writing, just like Dorothy Osai, please go ahead and do so. I'm very grateful for this opportunity, and I say God bless you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bolaji. Thank you very much. I am the chairman of this occasion. So I told the MC that I'm not going to be a mascot. So I'm taking the mic and I'm going to act as chairman now. So if you didn't know these 5 eminent Nigerians, you now know them very well, because the reviewer gave us a lot of information about their story. Now, I just want to do just a little bit of, to remind our young people why this whole event is happening. There are 5 Nigerians, all blacks. And at the beginning, we were told that often when we look for heroes, we don't see our people. We don't see people who look like us. And it creates the impression that there are no heroes. And sometimes when heroes are talked about in the media, they are not the right kinds of individuals. So what this is all about is Osai is saying, we have heroes here who our young people can emulate. And he's starting with these 5 individuals in a long list that will come later on, so that you don't begin to ask, where are these heroes? Because whenever you ask young people, who is your hero? We'll talk about the mother or the father, and then everybody is talking about my mom, my father, or who is your mentor, who is your role model? It's the parents. Outside of the parents, who are these individuals? You need to know them. And I think this is part of it. And so they are not just selected on the basis of financial capacity. They are selected on the basis of their character and their contribution to the lives of other people. Now, I was just talking to Mrs. Bangboshe here. I said, no matter how brilliant an individual is, if the person is a crook, he's just a brilliant crook. And a brilliant crook has no use to anybody. So, we have 5 books. 5 books. One of the first things that I noticed is that the design is so colorful. I feel like being a child again. I want to sit down. And the motif is African. It's a Nigerian storytelling setting. So this is very interesting. It's inspiring. It makes me want to read. And let me tell you, let you in on something. Actually, secretly, I read children's books. Because it awakens the child in me. It awakens the child in me. So don't tell my children, don't tell my wife that I secretly read children's books. So it's not just for the children, it's also for the parents. Now there's something here I want to draw your attention to. Is the names, the titles. You have, for instance, Adebayo the Guru. Can we all say that together? Adebayo the Guru. We have also Ngozi the Patriot. Ngozi the Patriot. And then, of course, you have Kanu the Great. Kanu is the Great is sounding like the name of one king. Actually, is he not a king? A hero is greater than a king. And then, of course, we have Wole the Lionheart. Is Wole Soyinka not a Lionheart? The story he just told us shows that he's a Lionheart. He's older than me, so I can still emulate him. I want to be like him when I grow up. So, and then of course, Bolanle the Pioneer. It sounded like the music to me, Bolanle the Pioneer. So, you are invited to read, to buy, and to gift. These are well produced, well illustrated, well intentioned, and the purpose is for us to begin to build the foundation of heroism in our young people, so that when they grow up, they will emulate these people and display the character traits that are necessary for nation building. Thank you very much for listening.
All right, can we give a warm applause to our veteran broadcaster, and then another one to our chairman as well. Thank you very much, sir. All right, so while the book reviewer was speaking, several other people came in, several key individuals, so I would like to recognize them. Reverend Engineer Ette and Mrs. Elizabeth Ette, are you here? Thank you. Mrs. Ette also happens to be a founding member of the board of the Mayan organization, so let's appreciate them. Mrs. Funsho Agwola, founder of the Vale College, are you here? Okay, she left. Okay. Also, we have renowned journalist and radio philosopher Edmond Obilo. Is he here? Okay, he's one of our panelists today. And also, we have the director of the National Library, Oyo State. She's here. Where is she? Okay, let's appreciate her. She's supposed to leave very shortly because she has a program to attend, but I want to give her 1 minute, just 1 minute to say one or two things.
Thank you for the opportunity. On behalf of the National Librarian and the Chief Executive of the National Library of Nigeria, Professor Shiwe Veronica Anobi, I congratulate Dorota Ozai, author of the Role Model series. As a celebrated author, you have become a role model to many students already. The National Library of Nigeria, as the nation's apex library and intellectual hub, is dedicated to promoting reading culture and nurturing informed citizens. Your contribution to this mission is truly commendable. Lastly, I expect, as usual, Purple Bloom Publisher, I believe you are around, that you will deposit legal copies of this book with us soon after the book launch. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. So we'll take a 1 minute music break, and then we would proceed to the panelists session.
Falala, falala, make a de falala, falala. Blessings upon my life till they see me for valala. Mama say make I listen to Jah, make I no reason to fall. Man, I been living too fast, make I de chill and relax. Life has been good to me, I do not take this with levity. Nothing is new to me, but lucky I'm grateful for everything. The good and the bad and the ugly, all of the joy and the suffering. And then it dawned on me, all that I seek is in front of me. Isha Oluwa ko seni to ye, bí mo ṣe ṣe mi o mọ̀. I just stay on my grind every day, I keep my eyes looking up. As she dey see, I give the glory to God. As she dey see, I give the glory to God. Isha Oluwa ko seni to ye, bí mo ṣe ṣe mi o mọ̀. I just stay on my grind every day, I keep my eyes looking up. As she dey see, I give the glory to God. As she dey see, I give the glory to God. Butterfly for my belly, you giving me energy. I don't dey lose my composure, got me losing control. Giving me more than I need. Everything where you carry for body, even if water carry me, baby. No fit to revise you my oreke, my reading, my blues, my activity, your reading from Monday to Sunday. Say you be my goal, I see you and everything I go do for my baby. My reading, my blues, my activity, your reading from Monday to Sunday. Say you be my goal, yeah, and everything I go do for my baby. My jigger, my muse, everything my baby. My reading, my blues, so many things you did do, nobody do me like you do. My jigger, my muse, everything my baby. My reading, my blues, so many things you did do, nobody do me carry you play, I fit to lose. Carry my love, put it all on you, and I get the money for two. Over my retina when you come through. Now you be my personal person. Forget it, that I need blessing. Other guys, they don't teach me lesson. Then not only you, ain't no distress me. Lesson a blessing. My jigger, my news. Everything, my baby. My reading, my blues. So many things you did do, nobody do me like you do. My jigger, my news. Everything, my baby. My reading, my blues. So many things you did do, nobody do me like you do. Carry you from my head, my shoulder. Rock up on you, my knees and toes. And you dey come Lagos for child's play. So I say, them they find me. For the long time, I've been silent. I dey run am, I've been studying, but they think say I'm in hiding, 'cause they don't know how to find me. I be on no Zumba, by the way. 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 Coming to you. Coming to you.
All right, so it's time for our panel session. Okay, and I would like to bring forward the panelists. So I'd like to bring forward a renowned journalist and radio philosopher, Edmond Obilo. He's our first panelist. Let's appreciate him. And also, Ebon of Kokari Book Club. Are you here? Kokari. Okay. Kokari. Can we appreciate her as well? And this session will be moderated by Kauta Omishore. Are you here? Let's appreciate her. Let's appreciate her.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kauthar Umishori, and I'll be moderating this panel discussion on storytelling as a didactic tool in children's development and social advancement. And seated with me here is the one and only radio man, Mr. Edmond Obilo. It's a pleasure to have you here, sir. And also seated with me here is, welcome, ma. So glad to have you here, ma. Yeah, ma. All right, starting with you, Mr. Edmond. I've been following the social media pages for years now. And if anything, your storytelling skills and interviewing skills is remarkable. Most importantly, I love how you've wrapped it around books in using it to probe deeper questions about societal issues, events, and all that happening in society. So my question to you is, how important really should we tell these stories? What roles do these books, what roles do they play in equipping children with the needed skills for them to thrive as individuals, sir?
I deliberately use story as my tool for passing messages. Storytelling is key to driving any idea. That is why, before I come on radio, if I'm speaking about the power of knowledge, I weave it around stories. And that is why when I learned that Edem had written a book, the first thing that caught my attention is that she's telling stories. So stories are key to passing messages. I'm a storyteller. We have a book that is telling stories. And you will see how far the book will go because of the power of storytelling.
Thank you so much, sir. Ma, to you, growing up as a child, I read books a lot, and books, they've come to form a major part of my lives. But if I'm being honest with you, I would rather pick up a fictional book, let's say Ralia the Sugar Girl, than to pick up a non-fictional or historical book. And looking back now, I would want to think that there are two main reasons why that was like that. The first was that there wasn't really historical books to read, to access to read as a child. And also, it was also that I didn't really find most of those books relatable or interesting because I found them really boring. And that is why I'm glad that Mrs. Osai has written a book about role models in Africa. So my question to you, Ma, is how do we make sure that books like this, especially historical books, books about past heroes, how do we make sure books like this are accessible to children out there, not just children, especially children from low-income communities?
Okay, thank you very much. And I think I would be remiss not to make clear what my name is. It's Ebu
Apologies, sir.
Feludu, and I farm and process coconuts. So we have a farm in Oyo State, and we have a factory in Lagos, and we also set up Kokari Cafe here opposite Polo Club, where we sell our finished products, and we also have a book club. Edem is one of the members of our book club, so I'm really honored to have been called onto this panel. It is, and I was saying to her, I'll actually just say here what I'd said to her in private. It's so important that we have stories like these for children because we are in an increasingly globalized world where the music that children in Nigeria listen to is the music that children in the US or in Kuwait listen to. And what makes us, and the fashion, is also universal. Everything is universal and globalized. But what makes us all unique is to be able to know what our unique stories are, take pride in them, and to actually be able to share those stories. So what makes a Nigerian child different from a child from America or from Kuwait or from Singapore? It is their rootedness in the things that truly make them unique, their language, their culture, and their stories. So this is why these books are important, that Osai has written, and it's why it's critical that children everywhere in our country have access to them. And so your question is, how do we make sure that more children have access? I think it's simply what we're doing here, supporting the author, buying the books, donating the books to public and private libraries, and just spreading the word so that we make sure that as many children as can have access to the books and the stories.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Ebo. Thank you, Ma. Now back to you, Mr. Edmond. You have a penchant for talking on controversial issues, talking about controversial issues. And when you do that, majorly through books, I've recently watched your interview with Bisi Akonde on his book, My Participation. You've spoken about the Ife Modakeke story. You've had individuals like Karima Todebode come on your show to speak. When you speak on some controversial issues, it elicits some sort of responses. And I want to believe that youths majorly, they drop comments as to what they think their opinion really is or what you've said. When you've observed youths' comments on some of the issues that you've spoken about, what do you think? Do you think that the educational system, the educational story tools that we have in a sort of way has failed them as to how they respond to national issues, conversations, and all that, sir?
Young persons of this time have the greatest opportunity to make the greatest impact. We might keep complaining about the education system, but we live in a world where outside the education system, young persons and parents have the opportunity of the internet for self-education. We now live in a world where access to intellectual materials is now easier. You can find books. I'm a bookseller. When I looked at the whole book ecosystem, I asked myself, there is a problem to solve. It is the problem of mental revolution. I asked myself, why is South Korea developing so fast? Why is China now on top of the world? How did America rise to become the greatest power? And what struck me is their mental alertness, critical thinking. And that will not happen without books. When I look at my children, I use them as an experiment. I experiment with their ideas, with their thoughts. When I'm on social media, I'm looking out for the insight. I'm always targeting those between the ages of 25 and 18 to say, what are they saying? And I haven't looked at what they are saying. I believe the young persons of this age are going to make the greatest impact. But they need to be guided. And what Edem has done is a critical intervention. We don't have enough books to trigger and inspire them. Most of our stories are not properly told. Now the interventions are coming from young Nigerians like Edem. Now she has told a story. For somebody like me, once I lay my hands on the book, I will advance the story, spread it, trigger more conversations, analyze the conversations. To answer your question directly, young persons are making the right conversations, but those conversations need to be directed by a critical mass like the Egbokares, like the Edem Under, and we are on course. We are getting there soon.
Thank you so much, sir, for that response. By the way, everyone, I want us to give Mrs. Osai a round of applause. Thank you. Because she hasn't just written a book, she has written a series, and that's really commendable. Now, back to you, Mrs. Ebroma. So, I provide education and personal development trainings for the children in my community, and most of them, due to lack of awareness, so to put, from their parents' part. And even I've also noticed from most Nigerian households, the so-called parents that really believe in the value of education have a limited understanding of what reading should be. Some parents, their understanding of reading is make sure you pick your books, read, and pass your exams. I've had instances where the children in my community will borrow books from the library and then take it home, and then they will come back and tell me that their parents took the books from them because that's not the book they're supposed to be reading. It's just their own job is make sure you read and pass and all that. And if anything, I've come to understand that when a child reads a book, there are so many things that happen. Talk about vocabulary development. What are the new words they found? How best can they use them in sentences? When a child is summarizing the book that he or she has just read, you are improving, the child is improving his or her public speaking skills. Now, my question to you, Ma, is that how do we mitigate this issue? How do we ensure that books, in terms of from parents, from children, from educators, from major stakeholders generally in the education sector, they do not see books as only a tools to passing your school test or something, but also as an important tool for them to possess to help them thrive anywhere they find themselves, Ma?
That's such a great question, and I'll use this opportunity once again to plug our book club and encourage everyone in their communities to also encourage reading by encouraging those communities, building communities where people are sharing text and sharing their ideas around the text. I'll give you a simple example. For our book club last week, we read Letter from Birmingham by Martin Luther King. It's not a local author, but this is a global icon. And so we all read it, and we all came to the Kokari space and shared our thoughts about it. It makes it more alive, right? It brings the text to life when you're hearing sort of perspectives from 6 or 8 different people, and you know that you are united in one sort of cause to read and to know more and to understand more. And we're doing the same, actually, for Children's Day. On May 27th, we're reading that text again for young people this time. So I think that if communities could come together to build sort of little hubs where they're reading and engaging and talking and building a tribe. There's nothing like the power of a tribe of readers, to make it cool, because everybody kind of wants to fit in, everybody wants to be sort of cool, especially for the young people. If we make it cool by creating a tribe around it, I think that it will probably encourage a lot more young people to get into that habit of reading, and not just reading academic text, but reading text that will challenge them intellectually, reading text that will open up their mind to adventure, texts that will actually take them all over the world, because these are texts that are written by authors from around the world. I think that would really...
Great, thank you so much. Question, and I'll be posting that question to Mr. Edmonton and Mrs. Ebo. This all is filled with students, parents, individuals, pioneers, and all that. What is that advice, Mr. Edmond, that you would give to everyone seated in this hall as to the power that book holds?
When I came into broadcasting, I came with a B engine, a Bachelor of Engineering. But when I came in and I told them I have a Bachelor of Engineering, I saw the doubt in them. But one thing they did not know, that Bachelor of Engineering was just the academic degree. That I read everything as a secondary school student. That while reading for my exams as an engineering student, if you come to my room, you will see books on law, books on political science on that same table. I wanted to know something about everything. So that opened my mind. I became a searcher for knowledge. And by the time I was in 200 level, I feel I could speak like a lawyer. I had an idea of what law is. I had an idea of what political science is. I could read books on architecture. Till this moment, I could go and buy a book on Islam, on religion, on Hinduism, on philosophy. I just want to know. Because I've discovered that the greatest power is the power of the mind. If you look at Kanu Nwankwo, when he won the Champions League with Ajax, he signed a big deal with Inter Milan. Moving to Inter Milan, we all waited, watching for our Kanu to fly. All of a sudden, he had a heart ailment. Kanu could not play for almost 2 years. We thought his career was over. No. Arsene Wenger saw something, and Kanu moved to Arsenal in England. He played with Thierry Henry. He played with that galaxy of Arsenal stars. It is not the movement that is the question. It's that determination and courage by Kanu to say, hey, I want to be a star. He went to England. He became one of the best footballers to come out of Arsenal. When the reviewer was talking about Okonjo-Iweala, I saw the power of a woman who believed she could change the world. When Okonjo-Iweala became Nigeria's finance minister, I saw a woman who had that torch to drive Nigeria's economy to the beacon of redemption. I saw the light in her. One man I've read so much about is Soyinka. If you read The Mystery Gunman, how Soyinka broke into Radio Nigeria. Okay, not Soyinka, The Mystery Gunman broke into Radio Nigeria. It taught me something. The courage of Soyinka was what got him the Nobel Prize for me. The courage of Kanu Nwankwo gave him the Champions League. Ogulesi if you read about his mastery of finance as a global investor, you also see the power of the mind. Bolanle Awe, I've interviewed her 3 times. Whenever I sat down and reflect on her interviews, I saw the power of a woman who felt she could conquer in all, as parents, as young person. There is a book by James Allen. It's entitled, Mind is the Master. If you believe you can change the world and work towards it, you will achieve it. When I see young persons, I see a future that we can mold and drive and tell the world that Africa is coming. I am sure that before I die, Africa will arrive. And to drive that, we need that mental alertness. Edem has triggered it. Shoinka has triggered it. Kanu Wanko has told us how to achieve it. Bolanlewe has told us that you can be an intellectual pioneer. If we fail, parents, it's your fault. If we rise, children, it's your glory. So see you there as we go. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now to you, Mrs. Zebra.
Thank you. On our way here, my son was saying to me, I'm not sure I want to be a doctor. And I said to him, I said, you know, it doesn't matter what you do, as long as you apply yourself absolutely to it and you are the absolute best that you can be. I had an encounter with an elder in March. He had worked 35 years in a manufacturing company, and he'd been a consultant with us pro bono for 2 years, but we met for the first time. And we were talking about mortality and how our time on earth is finite. And he shared 4 pillars with me that he lives by. And I think that is relevant for this gathering today. I think first off, that we're all here speaks to the fact that we're committed to learning, expanding our minds, and we're curious. But those 4 pillars, I'll share them now. The first one is to learn. And it is through reading that you can learn, right? Through reading, through engaging with people. But the first commitment of a mortal with limited time on earth is to apply that time to reading and to learning. And then the next pillar is, after you've learned, what do? You create. Now you have information, you have material, you go on and then you create something into this world that makes the world better, that moves the world forward. And then the third pillar is that you give. Because once you've created, right, like in my factory now, we create tons and tons of coconut snacks. I can't eat them all. Yeah, so it has to go out in the world and bless the world. So you learn, you create, and what you create, you give. And then the last pillar is love, which drives everything. And I think that if we live by those pillars, starting with the pillar of learning, we'll make our world better.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Sarva. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone. As Mr. Edmond has rightly said, the power of the mind, it holds a lot. And as Mrs. Ebun also said, it doesn't matter what you do. All you just have to do is give it your best. So congratulations to everyone here, and congratulations, Ms. Osai. Thank you so much.
Please don't stop clapping. Keep clapping, keep clapping. All right, let's take a quick picture. So at this time, we're going to be having a presentation of awards. I'm going to be presenting awards to some principals of schools in Ibadan here. So to do that, I would like to bring forward our chairman, Professor Ebukari. Please, can we appreciate him? And also, I would like to bring forward Professor Bamiro as well. Let's appreciate Professor Bamiro.
Yeah. This is your chairman. So give me a round of applause. I'm sure you are not used to a chairman who enjoys the position of being chairman. I normally don't wear caps, but you know, these occasions like this, I wear a cap. You know, when I first came to Yoruba land, and at parties, I would see all men removing their caps when they are eating amala. So I used to think that it was a cultural thing, until the day I ate amala myself. And I instinctively removed the cap, and I discovered that it was a heat problem. Yes, let's have. Okay. Thank you very much. You know, I'm very, very glad to do this because I'm the son of a principal. And also, my mother was a headmistress. So I'm very glad to be in the company of teachers. We are going to invite Mrs. Agnes Olaiton Otunla from Onireke High School. Where are you? Please give her a massive round of applause.
This is presented to you in recognition of outstanding school leadership, presented to Mrs. Agnes Olaiton Otunla for your unwavering dedication and exceptional commitment as a school principal in supporting community-based literacy education. Your commitment to empowering school children through formal classroom activities and partnership-based programs led by NGOs, which are promoting literacy and breadth of skills, is commendable. So, on behalf of President, this is presented.
Sabi girl no dey too like talk. Animals dey in human form. Body man nobody like work, but you must hustle if you want joy. You no finish they won't fight us.
You know, one of the things teachers like to talk. You know, if a teacher opens a shop and a customer comes and he says, I'm looking for 2B pencil, he can ask you to go to his neighbor's shop that he has better pencils. So we transfer that. That's our own problem. We transfer that attitude to our own business environment. So we hardly make a good business people. We have another fantastic person. And this person doesn't know that I was once in that school, that area. Those days when I came to Ibadan, I was one of those who were doing appellate teacher around the Kolaba High School. That was the first place when we were renting the facilities and I was doing teaching. I taught all over Ibadan. I taught in LA police station. In fact, if you look at everywhere, you see my steps everywhere where I taught. I was trying to survive. So we are going to invite the former principal of Ikolaba High School with his amiable and supportive wife. Please, can you come over, please? His name is Mr. Moses Olawale Bolarinwa. Okay, you are not looking like a retired person, no. You are looking as if you are just starting life.
This is recognition of outstanding school leadership presented to Mr. Moses Olawale Bolaniwa for your unwavering dedication and exceptional commitment as a school principal in supporting community-based literacy initiatives, your commitment to empowering school children through formal classroom activities and partnership-based programs led by NGOs, which are promoting literacy and a breadth of skills, is commendable. And behind your success is our mommy. Well, it's presented to you.
So, Professor Bamiro, I think you have done your work. Wait, yes, you are excused now. You can go and sit down. Thank you very much. Congratulations. I'm going to retire as a teacher. You know, you have architect, somebody, engineer this. I like to introduce myself as teacher Francis Ebohari. When I was looking for accommodation in Ibadan, and one of the questions that they used to ask is, Irushe wo lo nse? And in one place they said, Irushe wo lo nse? And the daughter said, lecturer. Ishe lecturer. I said I was a lecturer. He said, Tisa no. He said, that is a teacher. The daughter said, no, these are the people teaching in the, I said, that kilo mo. One pe yon ni malam only house alone. Do you understand that? He says, what is the difference between guguru and popcorn? That a teacher is a teacher. But I think the value of teaching, I experience every time at the airport in Lagos. Once I get there, I get star treatment from my students of the University of Ibadan, and students I have taught all over the place. They treat me like a king, and I see people envying me and looking and say, who is this special human being? So I will now invite Chief Mrs. Oluwatoye to come and present the next award. Yes, please come and present. And then while you are doing that, you may just give us one or two words while you are presenting the award. And the recipients of this award are very special. Very, very special school, where it all started from, Ojo High School. Can you shout? Where are you, Ojo High School? Can you? Is your senior prefect there? Somebody of any of your prefects? Yes, come. Senior prefect, come. Are there any other prefects there? Please come and give her support. Now I'm going to, you need to know the story. Humble beginnings, where it started from. This is the school. So the school is getting the award. And I'm very glad that the students, the pupils of this school are here. Mommy, I give you this award to present.
Thank God for this great opportunity and to thank Edem for making me do this, because you know I love young people. And our paths crossed in the service to young people at Life Builders NGO. This award of partnership excellence is presented to Ojo High School for your unwavering dedication and exceptional commitment in supporting community-based literacy initiatives. Your commitment to empowering school children through formal classroom instruction and partnership-based programs led by NGOs which are promoting literacy and a breadth of skills is commendable. This day, 23rd of April, year 2025, by Mayan Organization. Congratulations.
Steady thinking about how you do on chance. Cause I'm spotting the system, it be red flag, no. Boy, you call me. Got my vision, the blur, no. Be like I forget what you not gon' do.
All right, thank you very much. A round of applause for them, please. All right, now it's time for the unveiling of the Role Model Series book. And I would like to bring forward the reviewer, or rather, the publisher, Joke Oyekon. Let's appreciate her, please.
All right, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the time has come for us to unveil the book. Can I have 2 ushers, please? 2 ushers, please. And is it possible to have FT-men? Can you please move this a bit? Okay, so I will be calling on those that will be unveiling this great book. Every child should read this unique storybook which ignites dreams. So it is time to unveil that book that ignites dreams. The first person I'll be calling on to join us here is Professor Egbokare. Please clap for him. Mr. Bolaji Oladepo, the book reviewer, if he's still around. Please, sir. Could you please come here? Okay. Professor Bamiro, former VC, University of Ibadan. Thank you so much, sir. Pastor Francis Maje Kodumi, pastor of the Bridge Network. Okay, Mado JMU, am I correct? Sir? Okay. I am sorry. I sincerely apologize. Okay. Chief Mrs. Grace Oluwatoye. Could you please join us, ma? Mr. Bolaji Oladepo. Okay. Edmond Obilo. And of course, we can't do this without the author. With a sound rounding clap and standing ovation, can we welcome Edem Dorothy Osai. Okay, please. Okay, the hour has come. Could you please move closer? Okay, please. Alaji Yusuf, could you please join us? Grandma and Grandpa Ewete, please join us.
Elder Mrs. Ete, she's the founding member of the board of Mayan, and she's here with us. Elder Mrs. Ete, please join us. Auntie Jumoke Adejobi is here from Leeds City University. Please join us. Join us. Mrs. Bangboshe, a renowned educator, please join us. Please join us. And the wind behind my sails, my rock, who is not Jesus Christ, the one that God left for us on the earth, my mother, my uncle, my friend, my counselor, my companion, my helper. Please come, mommy. And I only thank God for the kind of pastor I have who doesn't take offense, because we murdered his name this morning. Thank you, sir, for accommodating us. Thank you. He is Pastor Francis Madojemu, and he is the pastor of the Bridge Network in Ibadan, an intellectual citadel that uses faith and the Christian gospel to propagate social impact across Nigeria. It is in that community that I have found support and an ecosystem to drive the dreams and the visions that I run today. So thank you very much, sir. And Auntie AJ is here, his wife is here, and she's seated somewhere. She likes to be modest, but she's also here. She will pardon me for not calling her up. Pastor Francis represents. I know she also doesn't like paparazzi, so.
All right, thank you so much. Let's move closer to the book. Let's move closer to the stand. Please, yes, sir. Yes, let's move around. You can still move, yes, sir. Okay, no, we'll be unveiling from that side. Yes, from this side. So you can hold there. Yes, you can hold it here. Okay, wait, sir. Okay, so yesterday we were talking and we said we should pronounce role model. So we say role model series, volume 1. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, go. Role model series, volume 1. Congratulations. Thank you. So I'll give the mic to the chairman. Please take a copy and let's take a picture.
Thank you very much. This is so you have to direct me. So I'm supposed to launch, right? Well, I'm just chair here. I would have loved to launch after Professor Bamiro as my Oga. but I will just do 50,000 for, and then please donate on my behalf to any school. 50,000 naira. Thank you.
Going the route of the 50,000 for my NGO and my grandchildren. 50,000 naira.
All right, thank you so much, ma. Let's go round. Please, can we hold the book up so that we can take a picture? Photographers, we are ready. All right, thank you. So you can pass the mic. Yes, donations.
All right. My name is Deborah Adejobi. On behalf of Lead City University, we have Lead City International School. We have 2 schools, the junior school and then the middle senior school. We have 2 libraries, we have one in the junior school and then one in the middle senior school. So on behalf of each of the school libraries, I'd like to take a set of the books, and we would donate 50,000 naira.
Thank you so much, ma. Thank you. So you are buying 2, 3 copies, you're buying. Yes, ma'am. So it's 5 in 1 book. Yes. Let it go to the other way, ma'am. It's on.
I'll take the 50,000.
50,000 naira. Thank you.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, you are allowed to go up, sir.
Hello. Hello.
In that case, since everybody is following the chairman's, I go up to 100,000.
Thank you, sir.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. On my account, I'm launching with a sum of 50,000. And I have somebody who sent in word from the US who wants a volume for 100,000.
Thank you so much.
altogether, we have 150,000 here.
I'll follow the footstep of the chairman, 100,000.
Following my Oga, 50,000.
Thank you, sir.
Sorry.
I will launch this book, this series of books. This is the first one. There are so many others coming. I would launch with an undisclosed amount.
Well, there's no doubt. I don't see how one can pay for this book, no matter what. Well, I don't know. I ask myself, well, Professor Francis Ekwari, he's not yet retired. I'm a retired, okay. But despite that, I will still launch it for 50,000.
Thank you, sir. All right.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
I am Idara Daniel, and this book is a wealth of knowledge. I'm representing Youth Care Development and Empowerment Initiative. On behalf of Professor Defuke Ekine, the founder of Youth Care, we'll be donating 50,000 naira, and we'll add this to our collection of our library. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you, sir. We can all go back.
Please,
Yes.
can we just line up here so we can take a better picture with the books?
With the book.
Thank you so much.
Okay, please, the account number. Please, can you share the account on the screen? Can we move it? Can we move it? Can I get 2 FT men, please?
All right.
Just a moment, please.
All right, sorry. Is it possible that we have some people climb up to make the picture a bit to make the picture look more grand? Yes. Then some people can be on the ground and some people can be on the stairs. Yes.
Okay.
All right. Are we ready? Are we ready? All right, can we say cheese? Beautiful. Professor and Professor Mrs. Moody, please, can you join us? Please, let's appreciate them as they come forward. All right. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so
Let's
much.
appreciate them as they go back to their seats. Put your hands together.
So the book will be taken around. A copy, if you want a copy, 5 in 1, it's 25,000 naira. It's 5 books in 1. 5 books in 1. 5 books in 1. 25,000 naira. Papa.
All right. So I would like to bring forward a renowned author in our midst, and she's also a broadcaster, and she's the author's mentor as well. For a goodwill message, all right, she's an author. She's a mentor to children, to young people. Okay. Can we appreciate Ronke Giwa as she comes forward for her goodwill message? Let's appreciate her. Where is she?
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. It is such an honor to be here. I want to congratulate Edem Osai on this amazing feat. I love stories, and I'm glad that there's someone, ensuring that our young people continue to remember the real heroes. So doing this book for me is such an amazing thing to be here, and I congratulate Edem and her team for putting this together. I cannot wait. I'm such a huge lover of books, especially for my children. I have a 7-year-old who loves books, so I cannot wait to get a copy for her, and maybe for my nieces and nephews as well. So congratulations, Edem, and God bless you. Amen.
All right, thank you. All right, so next I would like to bring forward Helen Chatburn Ojeamon of the International School Ibadan for her goodwill message as well. Let's appreciate her, please.
Thank you so much. Big congratulations to my dear friend Edem on this incredible achievement. So happy to see this type of book being published in our community. I know it's going to be an excellent resource, and I can't wait until it gets in the hands of more and more children. At Ibadan International School, we've been supporting Mayan for many years as our students felt compelled to have an opportunity to be able to help the other students around our city who are likely less fortunate than them. We have a very big library in our school, and we know that that's a privilege. So I'm happy to be taking some copies of these books back to our library today, as well of course, for my own children and my nephews and nieces, just like Ms. Giwa has also committed. So congratulations, Edem. We're so proud of you. And you are one of our role models too.
All right. Elder Mrs. Ete, are you here, ma? Please, we are waiting for your remarks as well. Let's appreciate her as she comes forward. Put your hands together, put your hands together, put your hands together. Thank you.
I've always been excited. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I have always been excited about Edem's proud progress, excitement, and all the things that she does. I won't forget, and I always mention it, when the brother, during asking of her hand in marriage, asked the man, this lady has a lot of things on her wings. Let her fly. I hope you'll be able to support that hunger inside her. And she has not failed me because she has been moving, flying at a speed I can't understand, I can't even comprehend. But I thank God that she is impacting lives, something a lot of us don't do. Her life is impacting so many people, especially the younger ones. And that is what all of us should do. If you invest in any other thing in the world, invest in human beings. Invest in their progress. Invest in their whatever it is that you are interested in doing. Do it also in the lives of other people so that you would expand. It will not just be yourself being like a lake that receives and doesn't give out. God has given us so much. But it's not for you to keep it inside yourself. Share it with somebody else. And that's what Edem is doing. So I would like all of us to give Edem another round of applause for that which she has done. She has done a lot. She is still doing, and she will continue to do, because that is her life. That is her life. You can also do. I can also do. Do it in your own way. Do it as you can. Don't say because somebody is doing, no. Do what you can do. Invest in another life. Edem, the Lord bless you. The Lord bless you. The Lord bless you. And use you even the more. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, so at this time, I would like to bring forward the author of the Role Model Series book. Please let your applause be louder than it has ever been. I give to you Edem Dorothy Osai.
Thank you very much. My heart is really full. I'll tell you a story about this book. So it's been incubating for 14 years now. Oh, my friend is here, Tolu, Chief Magistrate at the Yagokun High Court, and we were friends from childhood, and then we went to OAU together. Thank you, Tolu. She came in from a court session. So I've been incubating this story for 14 years. And I remember when I left Lagos and I came to Ibadan and set up my organization, I ran to Grandma Awe. I said, I want to tell stories about people like you. The world is changing and I don't recognize it. When I was growing up, you were the standards my father put before me. My role model was Mary Slessor and the founder of the Red Cross. It's not these days of Forbes' richest man, richest women, the 100 most wealthy people in Africa. We were trained on the ideals that success was defined by contribution to community and to nation. So those were the pillars, those were the people placed in front of us, and we were expected to shape our lives according to these standards. Suddenly, the narrative changed, and I was seeing different images. But Mama Awe is alive. And I was also seeing, society is still evolving, and the milestones that, the familiar, milestones have all collapsed. And the contours of the future, they're still shaping up. So we don't really know where it's taking us to. But I felt that it was taking us to an alarming place where people who were simply, the only thing to them was that they had money. And the only thing to them was that they were on TV. Suddenly became the standards that all our children wanted to become. And I was frightened by that prospect of such a society. So I went to Grandma where I said, tell me your story. And I like sitting with elderly people. I've always loved it. Tell me your story. And so I chronicled her story and her childhood. You know, we encounter them when they're already successful. And so we can't relate to the children that they once were. But that's what these children at the back, they need. Because otherwise, these stock figures, these huge Professor Wole Soyinkas, who are the first people to win a Nobel Prize in literature in Africa, are people that are unrelatable. They don't realize that they came from ordinary backgrounds and church compounds in Ake Village, similar to backgrounds that they are growing up in. So I decided to start digging. And when you have a child whose father was an archaeologist and whose mother was a TV producer, what do you have? Somebody who digs up from the archives lost stories and then blows it up by telling them. So I combined my ancestry of archaeology and broadcasting and put together this brilliant, compilation of stories for African children. But I took her story 14 years ago and I didn't publish it. Now, fast forward to 2022, just after COVID. My organization had a summer program for children, and a couple of children came in from all over, Lagos, Ibadan. And I was in charge of the public speaking class. So I said to them one day, work on a presentation on Chief Bola Ige. And they were all looking at me. So from the blank expressions on their faces, I realized, these people don't know who I'm talking about, though. I said, okay, this is an opportunity to go and discover one of Nigeria's foremost leaders. I remember that I felt I felt very uncomfortable. So just, no. But Professor Bola, Chief Bola Ige is already forgotten. It's just yesterday's, it's not, 10 centuries it's just recent, and they don't know him. Then that evening, as the grandfather came to pick up one of the children, I heard her chatting with him. Granddaddy, they've told us to work on a project. We're supposed to do a presentation on some of Nigeria's leaders. He now said, okay, did they give you any particular leader or you get to pick? She said, some Bola guy. Where I was, my heart just froze. Some Bola guy. The father, I was met with silence, their voices grew distant, so I felt that they had gone out of earshot. But then I just heard the man gasp. He said, which Bola guy? She said, Bola Ige. They say he was one former national leader, a minister or something. I just heard the man scream, Egbami! Is it late Chief Bola Ige that you are calling some Bola guy? My heart just calmed down. I said, so I'm not the only one. They are right here. They are not in the diaspora. They are here under your noses. They are lost. They are here under our influence. They are lost. You think that is the children who went, to the foreign. Your children, our children are lost. And when I think about who is to blame, I couldn't blame that innocent girl. Because I was not even thinking to myself, this granddaddy that is screaming Egba me. So you could not tell stories. Throughout, all the times when they come for holiday, you didn't tell stories about this great Sarge, who was once, prefect in Government College Ibadan. You were a student of GCI, So through our cultural and educational institutions, they are no longer serving as channels to connect our children. They are no longer bridges connecting our children with the rich heritage of our heroes past. All the statements we make in our pledge, what is that phrase in the pledge? That the labor of our heroes past will never be in vain. Why will they know if we don't tell them? I remember that night I lost peace. I lost sleep. And I vowed to myself, it is past time o'clock to put out the role model series for African children. So that when they go, the world is global now. The dream is that when our children walk into any global chat room, they walk in boldly with the knowledge and the information resources so that they will never shrink themselves. They will never shrink in the presence of American, European, German. They come from a rich history and ancestry of people who have conquered, shattered, climbed mountains, overcome mountains, and contributed to their society. And there is a sweeping narrative that Africa cannot develop itself. And it will shock you how it breeds self-hatred, self-defeat, and glorification of the West. I want to counter it. This is a warfare. I am waging war. I'm trying to salvage Nigeria. And I'm trying to craft minds. And I've lost hope in the older ones, even my generation. But I know that if I mold the minds of these ones, and if we program them quickly, there will be sharp instruments of nation building. Sharp instruments of nation building. In our homes, let us be more critical about how we are raising our children. We are raising them still to romanticize the West. We have privileged the West over who we are. And there's no way a child growing up in that environment will love himself or herself. And that is the beginning of a change maker. They must love this environment with all its problems. Every problem is an opportunity waiting for a solution. It is a call to action for we must pick a problem. We are 220 million people and 220 million problems. If each of us commits to one problem, or at least to not being a part of one problem, Nigeria is on its way to becoming better. Please help me, collaborate with me to put these books in the hands of our children alive now. I'm working on Role Model Volume 2 already. I'm picking people who have done industry, picking people who have done different things, and I'm going for both sung and unsung heroes because they live amongst us. They have courage, conviction, and they build competence to actually solve problems. These are the people we must put frontally before our children. Please, Nigeria and Africa will not just happen. It is not a phantom that will just happen. Time is neutral. We can use it constructively or destructively. The future we desire is simply waiting on us to act. That is the purpose of the Role Model series for the African children. Thank you for being part of today. I honor you. Thank you for celebrating me. Thank you for supporting the work that Mayen does. I will now invite a couple of us, led by my father, Professor Francis Ebokare, and the book reviewer has left. I'll call on a couple of us. If you're not rushing off, right opposite this building, we are opening our second ever community library in Ibadan. We are on an aggressive strategy and mission now to plant libraries across the city because we've seen the transformative power of libraries in the communities where we have our presence. We've come to Elele because Elele is brimming with young people. When you are passing here, you just be seeing them. They're like, a swarm of a beehive, a swarm of flies. This is young people waiting for interventions. We are opening the first ever Elele Smart Library. It not only provides reading support and literacy resources to young people, it also integrates AI and basic computer skills because a whole population exists that is not aware of the conversation of AI. And if we don't get our own children, no matter the income, family background they come from, to also leverage AI, then they will not be able to build the newest AI solutions that are designed for our own local context and our own local problems. We don't want children that will just go into AI and be consumers of AI. We want children who will develop AI solutions. And those solutions lie in children and young people in the LA community also. So join us, please, a couple of you. Walk across as we cut the ribbon and commission the LA Smart Library. Thank you very much. I just want to thank all my fathers and my mothers who've been with me throughout the journey. The schools, the principals, those we've celebrated today, the teachers, without whom we can't have access to the children. Thank you for your steadfast loyalty to these children, to molding their craft, to molding their minds. Thank you to Uncle Bolaji who left. He trained me in storytelling. I started my job in, children's broadcasting very early because of my mother pushing me to NTA. So anyway, I found my voice early. And through my father, I found my mission early. So I'm grateful for their influence in my life. Thank you to my pastor who just, as soon as he saw the invitation, said, what about the plan for the online audience? And lo and behold, I think the online audience don't they rival the crowd in this room? Like quite a number of people joined all across the world. Without his immediate instant support, he sent his technical team. They just took that, trouble off me. And Pastor Francis provided that service. He donated that service platform, and we were able to broadcast this entire program to the diaspora. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you to Auntie Lizzie, always, pushing me, believing in me. And Alhaji Yusuf, my father, my friend's dad. He's also my adopted dad. He's a key member of the Child Protection Network. Thank you for coming and sitting throughout. Miss Abby, my child's teacher from ACA. My friend, Shola Scholes. Thank you, Scholes, for all the support. my publisher. Hey, may God send us, everybody in our different individual lives, help, and the right kind of help. Would never be possible without her input. You know when you say they got the memo? Because she said from the beginning, Adam, your audience is global. I know that we can't put anything substandard before them. Joke went into the heart and kernel of Ibadan to find me the best printers. Joke walked steadfastly, ceaselessly through the night, like she was absolutely efficient and very professional. We're friends, but when I work, I like to be professional. I said, we're doing a contract. Joke brought the contract papers out. We signed the contract. She's completely professional. If you want to publish and you are not talking to Purple Bloom, you are on a long thing. Talk to Purple Bloom. They will bring to life your vision in an excellent way. It's one thing to put a book out. It's another thing to give excellence. She has excellence woven into her craft. So I highly recommend Joke. And in a journey like this, there's bound to be friction. So anytime I had a challenge, I'll pick up the phone. Can we talk? I'm having some, I feel like there's some tension, and we will clear the air. She says, Adam, tell me, be very transparent with me. So we had that ability to I don't like to bury things under the ground. Let me deal with it immediately. And she has the capacity to deal with conflict and resolve it and give you the right result. So this is a professional who's doing her job absolutely credibly well. She has acquitted herself credibly on this job, and I highly recommend her. I say finally thank you to my chairman of the day. When my father died, I needed images, mentors, role models. I come from a university background, an academic background. My father was a deep thinker. And so I found in that void Professor Francis Egbokare. He is a thinker per excellence, and a thinker he's a crusader. He's not a thinker. If he was not an academic, he's an academic activist. This is a person who also is very conscious, very committed to the prospect and the dream and the vision of Nigeria and Africa. And their generation, they get jaded, they get tired, but he is relentless. He still finds, places to express that belief and value. Nigeria has really shattered the dreams of intellectuals. So it would be understandable if people like him just pack themselves to one corner and say, well, people do what you are doing. We'll be here watching you. But he remains insistent and persistent that Nigeria can work. And so he stays in the ring. He's still in the arena, getting his hands dirty. And he's teaching me how to think. It's one thing to do. I've learned to do. I move. But it's another thing to learn to think. Thinking is a science. It's an art. It's a process. There's a science to thinking. And through watching him and through interactions with him, when I've been away for too long, I just find a way. I don't come with my, sir, it's been long, I just want to hear him again. So these are the people that I still keep before me. Because this life, truth does not persuade. It's repetition. So what you do repeatedly is what persuades you. So I intentionally, repeatedly do things like sitting with people like him. It's intentional because Nigeria is on repeat. The negative sides of Nigeria is on repeat. So we have to be intentional about the positive sides of Nigeria. And I found that in Professor Francis Egbokare. He's a mentor, a father, a guide, and as you can see, a believer. He will sit down for hours and he's not very patient. And thank you, sir, for everything, for believing in me, for coming out to mentor the children all the time. I'm so grateful to you for everything and all the years. Thank you at this point. I've done my job. If I didn't mention your name, I love you. Kautha, the bibliophile, keep doing what you do. I respect you and you inspire me. If I was doing what you were doing so early, I would have blown. So thank you. Mommy Ajamale, thank you for your support, Ma. Thank you, everybody. Edmond, thank you for believing in this dream as soon as I shared it with you. See my friend, Pastor. Thank you very much. I can't call all the names. Auntie Beam, Lola. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. And please, let's take a... Professor Bamiro, my mother's boss. These are the believers. Through his instrumentality, my mother became the pioneer director of University of Ibadan Campus Radio. And he gave her wings, freedom to ideate, bring up ideas. He's that person who sees young people with ideas or counterparts with ideas, and he's the fuel pumping those ideas and giving them life and expression. Thank you for everything, sir. Thank you for your support through the years and for always being there when my mother calls on you. I'm borrowing you now because of my mother. Eshe, sir. Thank you, Mommy. Auntie Dupe, my mom from NTA days. I don't want to waste everybody's time. Auntie Dupe is my mother. The NTA moms are here, and they're also represented online. Thank you, Auntie Rose, who's watching from Maryland in the US. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, and have a lovely rest of the day. Thank you. So there's a security man outside who will lead a couple of us to the library. We'll just, open the library and then we can release you, please. If you can spare us just 10 minutes of your time, come. Thank you. If you can spare us 10 minutes of your time, please join us for the grand commissioning of the library.
Oh
business. God is my witness. They don't see my vision. I'm a logo.
Hello, children. Please come back inside. We are not done for today. Sorry. Don't worry. This session is purely for you. And you would enjoy every bit of it. This session is purely for you. And I tell you that you will enjoy